Welcome to the Business and Interiors podcast, the place where the world of interior design meets the essence of business success. I'm your host, David Del Greco, alongside my co-host, Cinzia Moretti of the award-winning Moretti Interior Design Studio. Our mission is to help interior designers run, streamline, and grow their business with confidence. In this podcast, we dive into the professional journeys and personal stories of some of the most inspiring interior designers and creative entrepreneurs. Each episode offers a glimpse into the strategies and experiences that have helped shape their business in this ever-evolving industry. So tune in, get inspired, and join us as we uncover the stories behind the design. Today, our podcast guest is Sam Fisher, the event director of Decorex. For the past 15 years, Sam has been at the heart of Decorex, passionately driving the evolution of this iconic event and ensuring it remains at the forefront of the interior design industry. Sam, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Nice
Hi,
to
Sam.
see you.
Lovely to see you.
It's fun to have you here as a guest because I don't know if you know, but
I know you told me.
Sam and I have worked together for about 6 years.
Yeah, a long time ago.
And it's been a journey, and loved my time at Decorex as well. And obviously, we'll hear from you all the exciting things going for or happening at Decorex this year. But before that, can you share a bit of your career and how you became the event director?
Sure. So I've been in exhibitions, I think it's nearly 21 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like a granny. But I started sort of fresh out of uni, I guess, after a bit of a gap year. But I came into exhibitions really by chance, and by the interiors industry by chance, really. And I'm just so happy it worked out that way, really. I first worked on a big exhibition that David will know, Interiors Birmingham, which was, funnily, in Birmingham at the NEC. It was huge. And alongside that, lots of other events in flooring, over in Abu Dhabi, lighting, etc. But I think for Decorex, I think we bought it from the founders probably 15, 16 years ago. And I've worked on it really ever since in various guises. And I've been event director on it for about 4 years now. It is my baby. I love it. And I'm just really lucky to kind of work on a really creative event that for a company as well that really helps to drive things forward and just work with some really lovely people, really.
Amazing.
What was the idea of Decorex? Why was funded?
So it was founded by a lovely man called Ian Thompson, and he ran it for the first 30 years with a couple of other people, and it was a real family sort of based event. It had a lot of community, which it still does, and I think I actually don't know exactly how it was first started, but it was quite small. I think one of the first ones was in a hotel on Kensington High Street, but it's really obviously grown leaps and bounds. But I think it still has that community at its heart, which I think is really important to Decorex as well as any other exhibition, to be honest. But Decorex especially. I think as it's grown and gone into different locations as well, we've obviously been in a fair few different locations, and we've grown through that. We've kind of taken on various different exhibitors, different product sectors. We've added a lot of collaborations, which I can talk about as well. But I think the industry does need a trade show. And I think there have been a lot of other trade shows and still are within in the UK, especially. Obviously there are also internationally, but I think in the UK there's not that many high-end luxury shows. So I think we are quite lucky for Decorex to have that kind of position. We don't sit on our laurels. There's always competition coming around the corner. But I think we're very lucky that kind of community at its heart has really helped the show grow.
I remember I left probably before you moved to Olympia.
Yeah.
So how is it now? How was the show at Olympia?
Yeah,
nowadays?
it's good. I think, as you said, I think since I've worked on it, and probably since you'd worked on it, we were at Chelsea, the grounds of Chelsea Royal Hospital, which was a lovely location. Also seeing the Chelsea pensioners come around the show was also lovely. And then we moved to Kensington Gardens for a year, held up the whole of West London. And then moved to Olympia. And I think, yes, it's one. Oh, sorry. Before that, we went to Scion Park.
I was going to say, yes.
I remember that.
It's like, where's Simon Park?
Exactly.
got the locations mixed up. Went to Scion Park for 5 years, which is also beautiful, but just that slight bit too far outside London. And we saw some of our visitors sort of decreasing. So the move to Olympia was really important for us. It is, yes, it's in an exhibition centre rather than us building, you know, a lovely marquee and being able to do a lot more
Creatively.
Yeah, creatively, even building our own toilets and, you know, having more street food and things and having a beautiful location. But I think the importance, obviously, is the visitors and bringing those to the buyers. Sorry, bringing the visitors to the exhibitors. So I think Olympia is a very well-functioning exhibition centre. It's got great transport links. And since we've been there since 2019, we've seen our visitors' numbers increase. We've seen exhibitors increase. And people can also like pop in. They can't, you know, I think back in Scion, you had to go for one day and it would be a whole day out. But now we see people kind of coming in on a Sunday and they might come back on a Wednesday. And I kind of love that kind of ease of accessing the show, especially with talks and things. You can come back and see things.
It's easier.
You know, on a daily basis. It's much easier.
Yeah.
So Olympia is now our home. They are renovating Olympia.
Yeah, so there are loads of...
Lots of works.
Yeah, it's incredible, actually.
what are they doing there?
So it will hopefully be finished by next year's Decorex.
Okay.
But there are 2 brand new hotels, a Citizen M and a Hyatt hotel. Oh, cool. There'll be a conference centre, numerous restaurants, bars, a music venue, a jazz club, restaurants. There's a theatre.
Wow.
It's huge. And I think that will be of incredible importance to Decorex as well. I'd love to think that in the future we can do a lot more networking events. We can use all these spaces better for our show and almost create a kind of festival vibe.
Yeah.
And, you know, have so much more going on within that Olympia venue rather than you going to the show and there's not a huge amount outside of Olympia right now that people can go for lunch and things and then you can go back in. So I think it'll be a lot better for all of us, really. So I think that's part of our growth at Olympia. I think it will be just a really lovely place to come and visit. That's more of a destination.
Yeah, because there are a lot of design events that are not here anymore.
Yes.
And so it's nice to have one key event that you know can do all of these other things, and it's a true celebration, a little bit like Milan. You know, when you go to
exactly.
Milan.
I mean, from a design perspective, it's lovely.
Yeah.
You know, you find all your main suppliers, and you meet new suppliers, you see things, you meet other fellow designers, you have lunch. Yeah. It's not just a day out to see the products, but actually to meet people and to create the kind of relationship with, suppliers. You always speak on the phone or you just email, so there is not direct contact. But once you meet them, you speak to them, and it's a different kind of relationship. And I think that really helps Decorex to create that sort of nice atmosphere to grow the relationship that we have with suppliers and trades.
It's really important.
But also, as you say, if the area is growing, it will make a nice fun day out, especially for designers that are outside London.
Yes, indeed.
That had to go back and forth, and they can stay there. They can use that experience as well, and opportunity to have more networking.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's a good idea.
I think a lot of our visitors are from London, but we see a lot more travelling now, not only from abroad but the rest of the country. I think sometimes people think that design is just in London, but it's obviously not. And we see a lot of people coming from up and down the country, and as you say, just creating more of a hub, creating more of a festival, I guess, and maybe, you know, in the future, some other little events or something, networking events going on outside of the actual halls of the show. I think we'll just bring it so much more gravitas and, you know, a must attend, really.
Yeah.
Mini Milano fair.
Yes, I know. We're not Milano,
Mini.
but we have aspirations.
It's a shame because London is such a big city and an important city for design, but it cannot replicate the same atmosphere that you have in Milan. But that's okay.
No, it's not hot enough.
Probably, yes.
But no, it's not. And I think, you know, Milan is great because it, you know, it has the show and it has all the stuff going on within the city, which is actually controversially sometimes more fun than, you know, the stands at the show.
Yeah.
Not sure if I should say that or not, but you know, I think everyone wants that kind of experience, and everyone, and you know, the interactivity of everything, and that's what makes everyone wants to have fun, don't they? I mean, everyone's a consumer in the end, and you know, creating experiences is what helps people sell products really as well, and helps us hopefully sell the show as well, just creating more experiences for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah, because I was going to say, you do create experiences as well at the show anyway, you know, with the different feature areas and the controversial VIP room last year with
might get mentioned
from Brian. But, well, since we are talking about it, what's happening this year?
So, well, as usual, we like to keep things fresh. We have obviously new exhibitors. We like to keep our sort of exhibitor base fresh. We obviously have a lot of our loyal exhibitors back, but we have about 30% of new exhibitors each year, which, you know, that's the one bit of feedback we get from visitors is that they want to see new, and whether that's launch projects from our exhibitors or brand new companies they may not have heard of. So I'm hoping we bring some of that this year. In regards to all the kind of designer collaborations that we do, which actually is the funnest part of my job, we have Brady Williams doing the bar.
Cool.
Which I'm really excited about. It's got a really lovely feel to it. It's got a lovely installation of origami hummingbirds.
It's like Japanese kind of inspired.
Yeah, he actually was inspired by a visit to Tokyo. Lovely. So we then have, but actually on that bar, the lovely other bit about it is that we are also raising money for a charity called Furnishing Futures. And when people register to get a ticket, they can make a donation to Furnishing Futures, which are a charity that help make beautiful interiors for women and people that have come out of abusive homes. So it's a really lovely, lovely charity to work for. And I think a lot of the furniture will then be donated to these homes. So we're really excited to work with them. Nice. So the bar, yes, Brady Williams. The VIP lounge after the, as you say, controversial Brian's Boudoir last year, which I think, as he said, was controversial, but actually we didn't really get many complaints about it. And I think if you really understood the background to it, I think it made so much sense. And I'm really excited after many years of talking about it, we managed to do it. And I think I wanted to change things up a bit this year. So maybe this is the controversial one, but we're actually working with Yes Colours, the sustainable paint brand that did our cafe last year.
And did those arches,
the archways, which someone actually got engaged under last year.
Oh, wow.
And they're using the arch for the wedding.
Oh, wow.
It's a lovely story. First engagement at an exhibition, I think. But this year we're creating a kind of multidisciplinary space. So it will be slightly different to the usual, I guess, that Decorex is kind of expected of. But it'll have a bar and it'll have places to sit. But it'll also maybe have some talks. We may have some entertainment in there.
Okay.
So it's kind of a bit of everything. And I think it'll be very, very different to last year, which is obviously what we want. We want to create a buzz. We want to create different experiences every single year. So it'll be very colourful, obviously, because it's a paint brand. Yep. And I think it's all about the senses as well. It's about touch and smell and vision. So I think it is going to be different, but I think hopefully in a good way.
Yeah, because I mean, looking at judging obviously what they done last year, I can see that the space could be quite nice,
I'm quite
bold,
excited
and,
now.
Yeah.
fresh. Yeah.
I think it'll
Can't
be
wait
so
to
different,
go.
which we wanted. So I'm really excited to see how that turns out. You never really know until you
Yeah, exactly.
you can do all this planning, but I think it'll look beautiful. What else do we have this year? We have the new Craftsman, who you might know.
Yeah.
They are creating a kind of entrance feature when you first come into the hall,
Amazing.
with sort of some basket weaving.
Mm-hmm.
We have From and Tal, who are an absolutely stunning, beautifully handcrafted wallpaper company. Yeah. They are creating a space in that what used to be the cafe area in the linkway between the two halls, showing off their wallpapers, which they're kind of sponsoring, I guess. I don't want to say sponsoring, partnering with us on the making spaces area, which I will talk about. But I think that would be lovely to show the kind of how they make the wallpapers and the different stages of the process.
All right, so they will show
the
making
the
of
sort of
the...
we'll have them set, and then we will also have some workshops which visitors can join in to show how they actually do it.
Yeah,
so that kind of interactivity
I was
is
going
really
to say
important.
those are always quite popular at Decorex.
Yeah, really important. What else do we have? So many things. All the talks, obviously, I can talk about their fresh new set of speakers. We have over 85 speakers this year over the 4 days. As you know, they're very well attended. I think most sessions are packed out, people sitting on the floor. We've made it bigger this year because of that. And, they cover things from a lot of sustainability topics, things about AI this year, working internationally. So we've got some really great speakers on board for that. We've got a cafe and a bar, another bar in the National Hall. We've really grown into the two halls now.
Yeah.
So it is a bit bigger this year. But we've also got making spaces.
Yeah, because that was next to the seminar theatre.
Yes, it was last year. It's now moved into the linkway between the two halls, because it's a really important area of the show. It really shows how we can help these kind of artisans and younger makers. We give them a real platform to an audience that actually they wouldn't normally get to, I think. And they apply to be a part of it. And we have a committee of industry people that sort of sit and kind of judge them. And we come up with sort of 15 makers that we can give them an area at the show to show their products, really. And they all do it very interactively. So they are making their products whilst at the show.
Yeah.
They'll also be a part of this workshop programme. And it's just a really important aspect of our show. And it's one that actually is really, really, it's probably one of the most well-received sort of feature areas of our show. The feedback we get is really, really good.
People are super interested in learning how things are made, right?
Yes.
It's the craftsmanship, it's the process.
Yeah.
And that's kind of at the heart of our show as well, craftsmanship. So
I remember when Pigmented did that in the making area.
Amazing.
And everyone was so fascinated about how, these bas-reliefs were made. And
I'm fascinated. I want to know how things are made.
It's so important.
Yeah.
And sometimes you think, well, you're an interior designer, you should know. But then, you don't know until actually you see it live.
It's so incredible. And I think, we have things from furniture making, textile design, art. I mean, last year we had basket weaving. So just so many different things that you wouldn't, as you say, wouldn't know day to day. And I think the kind of learning of that for interior designers to take back to clients or, to just see people they might not normally see. They're not, and they're struggling to kind of get the promotion and their product out there. Yeah. And I think at Decorex, we kind of give them that platform to really see thousands of people, really, because it is one of the most attended areas of the show. And actually last year, we've got probably like 10, I think, people coming back for a Making Spaces Next Chapter, we're calling it.
Oh, cool.
And they've actually taken a stand. So it's really lovely to kind of see that journey that they've had. They had such a great show last year with us that they want to come and, invest with us and kind of try again, really. So we're really excited about that because there's just so much talent, I think, that's undiscovered. And
is there, can you remember, one example or one story of someone that started at Decorex and then become like quite influential or quite,
I think Sebastian Cox, actually.
Okay.
I might be doing him a disservice, but he was part of another area that we used to do called Future Heritage.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And back in beginning of Scion, I think. And he was part of that. And then the next year he had a stand. And then obviously he's gone on to great things. And I'm not saying he wasn't doing that before Decorex. But I think, we did help some of that, success, hopefully. But yeah, in Making Spaces, there's been a few, I think, that have had just some really good projects. And I think, with that audience that we can deliver, it's not just the UK, it's international as well, that they, just one project for them really can really help, their next year or two.
Sure.
And because you've been there for a very long time at Decorex, if you had to pick one year that's your favorite.
I mean, I want to say last year, but that doesn't really go back to my 21 years, does it? But I think I've got a couple. I think last year was amazing. I just think it was so good from my point of view. I think all the exhibitors had such a great time. Our visitor numbers were up, I think, and which, is such an exhibition thing to say, but it, it's what we look at as a part of success.
Yeah, for sure.
And that was great. I think we had worked with so many different people on the bar. We worked with so many different people to sort of bring those craftsmen to light. But again, the 40th year back in Scion, that was a real memorable moment for me as well. Shalini Misra did the bar, which was insane. I think we could have picked that up and put it in any hotel, and it would have fit perfectly. Fortunately, we have to tear it down after 4 days, but in a sustainable manner. And then Turner Pocock did their sort of Caribbean kind of bar as well. I mean, probably shouldn't say things like this, but Coffee Gate, which I think that was 2015, where in Scion, where our caterers let us down.
Oh, yeah.
And we had no coffee or food for the whole day. And Scion Park was in the middle of nowhere. And people still talk to me about Coffee Gate.
Coffee Gate. I didn't know that. That's how they called it.
Yeah, people still. I've probably not a memory. I should really. I think it was memorable. But we had to turn things around very quickly. But things like this come with exhibitions, and any live event. You can't plan everything. But as much as you plan, you can't.
You remember as well in terms of, you tend to remember things that have been challenging as well.
Yeah.
And how you kind of dealt with it, and they stay in your kind of memory, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a serious one.
And I guess obviously the one that you did last year was one of the editions that you were the event director, and probably the one that you managed to do a lot more to it because of obviously coming out of COVID and you kind of put Decorex back in the map kind of thing, and that's probably why you probably feel that way, I guess.
Yeah, and I think so. It's come with challenges. The dreaded C word.
Yeah, COVID. I mean, how did you deal with that time, during COVID? I mean, I remember you did something online as well, right?
We did. I think we were lucky, actually, because, compared to a lot of other exhibitions, not just in the interiors industry, but we only missed one edition because we were October. Others earlier in the year had to miss two.
Yeah.
So actually, we missed 1 year. And yes, we did do Decorex. what was it called? Virtual. It's pretty to the back of my memory. You know, we had to do something.
Yeah.
We wanted to, not just for ourselves, but for exhibitors that had signed up, you know, and we did have a couple of days of a virtual experience. We had talks and things, and, you know, during that process, everyone was online, and it was the kind of thing you did. I don't ever want to go back to that again, if I can help it. I think not a digital offering, but I think Decorex virtual Decorex as an exhibition online, I don't think gives it what it needs. If you see what I mean, it's such a face-to-face show. It's such a creative show that online doesn't quite give it its service, I guess. But yeah, we went through it. We actually launched another online show called Designscape. So we made our way through. You know, and we came out better for it, I think. You know, we learnt a lot. We had a lot of loyal exhibitors that kind of stayed with us. And we came out of it and did another show in 2021, and albeit smaller, you know, we've now grown it back up. And I think as a whole, exhibitions are actually thriving now, more so post-COVID, because people are desperate for that face-to-face. I know it's cliche, but they really are desperate for that face-to-face.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we noticed, you know, with us in terms of meetups and networking events.
Yeah.
Yes, you know, we do group coaching and we do workshops online, but people do love connecting with people in person.
100%.
And I think, you know, even in one meetup, we you know, a couple of people kind of started talking, and there might be some business coming from that conversation. And I think that's obviously the benefit of, you know, connecting
Face to
people in
face.
person.
But we do need, as a human being, that kind of contact
Absolutely.
relationship, you know, face-to-face relationship.
Absolutely.
So
and I think that's, you know, exhibitions, you know, are, I know they're quite a big investment for companies, but I do think the value you get from them is huge. You know, seeing so many people in one day, another cliche probably, but, you know, you can. And it's not about necessarily the people you know you're going to go and meet. It's about the people you don't know you're going to meet. And I think bumping into people, as you say, or just having that one little conversation can lead to so many other things. And I think, you know, bringing sort of buyers and sellers together in that environment is really important.
But also it comes with ideas, you know, you get inspired.
Yeah.
That's what I think is important. You just not go there to meet people. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But you get inspired what people say, what people shows on the new products. You get really those ideas as I can do that. And also for the, you know, the bars and things like that, the colors, the way the things are putting together, it's just an experience. Really, you can't really say just a show. I would say it's more like an experience.
Yeah. And that's what we want to offer.
I mean, even the exhibitors, they do some amazing stands sometimes.
Yeah, I know. They are so incredible, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, you know, and that's also what makes the show. We can put on these bars and these VIP lounges, but, you know, the heart of our show really is our exhibitors.
Yeah.
It's why we have a show.
Yeah.
And, you know, the effort that goes into those stands is tenfold. I think some people really go to town, but I think also you can be so simple but effective.
Yeah.
I remember Ili Kishimoto in, I think it was Scion, just had one pattern and really small stand, but the whole stand was one pattern, wallpaper, and they were wearing that pattern in their clothes as well. And it was just incredible. Yeah. And I think, you know, I love the way everyone puts so much investment and so much time into designing their stands, but you can also do it very cost effectively, and just simple also works.
How do you select your exhibitors?
So we have an application process, which is actually slightly different to some shows, especially outside this market. And we look at the kind of quality of the product. We look at the craftsmanship and the background and history of the company. We look at the price point. You know, we're a high-end luxury show, and it has to be at that kind of level of price point. And then we also do ask, you know, interior designer friends I ask, but I'm not quite sure myself. I know there's a lot of companies that we all know that we're like, yeah, fine, that they can come in. I feel like a gatekeeper. But you know, some we're not. So we do ask a kind of panel of people that whether they're the right fit for the show. And we do turn people away.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of exhibitions don't do that, and I'm sure my management probably don't want me to, from a commercial point of view. But I think it's really important. It's how you keep the show where it's at. You know, if we were letting people that weren't quite right in, then you know that the show would dip, and we would lose our kind of heart, I guess.
Yeah. Curation is so important.
Yeah, it is. And I'm not, you know, sometimes we might, well, hopefully we don't, but, you know, there might be the odd one or two that we're not quite sure. But, you know, I think the way people present themselves as well is also really important. We have like an exhibitor morning earlier in the year to kind of really explore with some of our exhibitors or new ones especially, how to really show their product off and show them some of the great stands that people have had in the past to give them a bit of inspiration about how to really sell your product as well. Because, you know, people walking down an aisle, there's a lot to see. And it's really on that. We can bring the visitors, but it's kind of really on that exhibitor to bring the person to their stand. Yeah. And luckily, majority of exhibitors do that.
I guess also for those international exhibitors that, you know, may have heard of Decorex, may have not attended all the editions prior. And I mean, do you tend to get a lot of international exhibitors nowadays still?
Yeah, we do.
Even though, you know, the Brexit does.
Yeah, I know. It is. Yeah. Brexit.
Sorry,
we do actually. We do. We have I think it's about 30% of international exhibitors. We have a big Portuguese contingency. A lot of Italians. Nice. And actually a lot from Europe still. Yeah. Surprisingly, really. But I think a lot of them have done it with us before. Mm-hmm. If they haven't, we have a drone that goes through the show, and have a drone video that we can show them the year before, which is actually one of the highlights actually of the show with the drone coming through. But, you know, you can really see what the show is, and you can see how to sort of show off your products and what other people do. But yeah, the international side of things is definitely growing.
What other brands or British brands are kind of new or returning this year that are worth exploring?
It's always a test. So we've got this year, we've got Floor Story.
Yeah.
Lovely rug brand. Yeah. We've also got From and Tile coming back with a stand as well. People like Nulty Bespoke Lighting, Another Country. Yeah. They're coming back. Also new, got Tatty Lou, she's like a wallpaper brand.
Okay.
So yeah, quite a lot of new companies alongside our kind of loyals that we love coming back every year.
Nice.
But yeah, as I said, we can't try and keep it fresh and have at least sort of, I guess, 20-30% of new companies each year. Nice. And they normally do stay and sort of carry on in you know, future years.
Yeah.
And for designers that want to register, just need to go to the website.
Yes, go to decorex.com. Registration is on there as well as all the information about what's going on. A lot more will be in September. We're announcing a lot more in September when everyone's come back from holiday. But yeah, the website's pretty much got everything on about what we're doing, some of the things that we've done in the past, things about our sustainability agenda, which is really important to us. And yeah, purchase the ticket there.
Things must be pretty hectic now. I mean, what was the typical day in the lead up to the show, what would you say?
I mean, it really can be anything, but yes, it is very hectic. It's kind of moving jigsaw puzzles, moving parts of a jigsaw puzzle. That wasn't easy to say. I think it's, you know, getting the plans in place for these big areas that are the bar and the VIP lounge. You know, there's a lot of people involved. We only have 4 days to build. which, in the grand scheme of things is really not very, very long, as Brian will probably testament to. And, so it's kind of meetings with the designers and the contractors that are going to do the work. We also have, getting the information out with our PR team, getting, everything that we can. They work with us really closely on sort of the promotion of the show with the media. We have meetings, about sustainability. It's a really big thing for us. And Informa, who own Decorex. We have a huge, a concept called Better Stands, where we have to get our exhibitors to essentially reuse their stands. We can't have stands that are thrown away straight after the show. They need to reuse them or repurpose them. And many other sustainable fundamentals, we call them. Just making sure our talks program is diverse. We're working with charities, we're working with the local area to create some jobs. We're working with people that, might not, know about the industry as well. We've got some students coming in to sort of talk to them about how, an exhibition works. Those sort of things. A lot of meetings, basically, to the show. But it's just the fun part. It's the fun part, And then when you get to the show, just seeing it all come to life, it really is why you do this job, I think.
Well, I mean, probably the first few days is a little bit
hectic,
and you feel that this is not going to happen, kind of thing.
You really do.
And then in the morning, you just turn up, and the floor is
it's
laid.
like the fairies came in overnight.
The magic.
Yeah, it's crazy. We walk in on Wednesday morning, and the show opens on Sunday, and it is literally blank canvas. And even by the end of Wednesday, you can see it build. We walk millions of steps. We do a lot of heavy lifting. But, as you say, it's the magic happens somehow. It's when the carpet goes down, I think, that really makes a difference. Yeah. And then you walk in on the Sunday morning, and it's very emotional. We usually cry. We have a team cry. Because it's just, I think it's one of those things that you just see everything, all the work you've done for a year, really come to light and and all. It's just come to fruition, and it's really important. And it's why you do the job.
Because I mean, you can see the designs of the feature areas, and by you sometimes, you're not aware of what the exhibitors are doing.
Yeah.
So you don't see that until obviously
absolutely
the exhibitors finish their work.
Yeah.
And then when you see everything coming together, it can be quite emotional.
We do a final walk round on Saturday night, literally row by row, and that's probably the only time I get to do that in the 4 days. But it's lovely. It's lovely just seeing how much work has been put in by everyone. Not just the Decorex team. It's all the exhibitors as well. It's really important.
Yeah, because there's a lot of logistic behind to coordinate.
Absolutely. It's a lot of hard work. Our operations team are heroes. We would be nowhere without them.
And I think that Sunday as well is one of the most popular day because everyone is free and it's a good day, actually.
Yeah, it is a good day. Yeah, we actually, it's funny, I think I used to always think Sunday was maybe the quietest, but actually Sunday and Monday, in fact, are quite sort of standard all days, really. Even Wednesday, we were kicking people out of the show on Wednesday afternoon last year. So I think, as I said before, it's, people are coming back each day and popping in and out. So, we're generally really busy all 4 days of the show.
Yeah, that's good. And, I mean, going back to the situation with exhibitions in London and things changing all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you remain relevant nowadays?
Yeah. I think an exhibition, if we're going, I think we mentioned earlier, like we did Decorex virtual and things, and I think, to be relevant, we need to have a trade show. We need to put the buyers and sellers together and make sure that the people that we have in that show are the people that our visitors want to see, and vice versa. I think the digital aspect of things is not going away. But I think if you're a hybrid, and I think people that are being in the exhibition as a brand, I think also we're in a hybrid with digital content or using digital marketing like we do. I think that really helps. I mean, we used to just do, I guess, print advertising and stuff to promote our show. But, our social media team, has grown, and the amount of content that we do online is huge. Like with Brian again, always talking about Brian. Brian last year, the teasing on social media was like a huge part of why that worked.
Yeah.
So I think as a show, we need to ensure that we've got the content in the show, but then be able to promote that to all the right audience.
Mm-hmm.
And we have great data. The boring bit, but we have great data from doing this for so long, and making sure that we've got new and relevant people coming to the show and being part of the show. But I think also that we are part of someone's marketing campaign alongside a lot of other things, and we're not just one part of it. I think, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
good. So remind us of the dates.
6th to the 9th of October, 2024, at Olympia.
We will be there for sure.
Yeah, good. I'm really excited. I think as ever, there's just new things to see.
Yeah.
And as the designer collaborations, all these new exhibitors, we'll have some fun little aspects of it as well that will be coming. And I think, just excited to see it grow, really.
Very nice. Looking forward to some champagne at the bar.
Yeah, I might buy you a glass.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sam. It's been a pleasure having you here.
Oh, thank you very much. It's been lovely.
Thank you.
Lovely to be here.
See you soon
Thank
again.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in. And if you enjoyed our conversation, feel free to share it with your friends. And if you wish to dive deeper into the business of interior design, we invite you to join our membership community at businessandinteriors.com. Until next time.